Alright lads, so the Party Time Summons is dropping tomorrow, and as you can see from the title, skip this banner. Skip this banner. Do yourself a favor and don't even spend orbs on this. Maybe do the first and second step, but don't go past step 5. And there's many reasons for this. It's not that the banner itself is bad. It's not that the characters themselves are bad. You just got to think about with your orbs, right? It really depends on the type of player you are. If you are already decided to summon this banner, by all means, right? I'm not saying the banner is terrible and that it's not worth summoning on. I'm just trying to see the value in skipping this banner and saving orbs for better banners. And I've made multiple videos on this in the past, right? But I think I need to make sure that it's clear why you should skip these type of banners. Now, before we did see the end of month banner, before we even saw the characters, I said in another video, whatever comes out, if it's not Burn the Witch or Spirits are Forever With You, skip the banner. Because if it's a seasonal and or a premium and the characters are good enough, it's very likely they're going to return in less than 4 months time on a very good banner. What are we talking about? Well, you know, the post-election banner, right? Hopefully Kellogg does it again this year. It's probably one of the better banners they can do. It's the best bait they can do before the end of year banner, which is normally a very exciting or hype banner because we choose the fillers, right? We get to choose who gets to be put onto those banners. And hopefully the community chooses right this year, which they should do. Last year, I think we did a very good job at choosing the fillers. I think there was only one bad character, and that was the Christmas Nelm. But outside of that, every other character was great, right? This year, if they do post-election again, there's going to be a good chance that, or it's guaranteed to happen if it happens this year, that Anniversary Aizen and Artwork Ichigo are going to make their first return since the anniversary, which was again at July. They're going to be in the banner alongside the best character that came out this year. Machine Society Nemu's going to be in there. Machine Society Yoruichi is probably going to be in there. Swimsuit Retsu is going to be in there. Potentially Swimsuit Rukia. Depends if the simps are hard enough for Rukia that they're going to vote for her. And alongside that, any other premium or seasonal character that comes out in the next 4 or so months leading up to that post-election banner, they are most likely going to be in said post-election banner. So, as for example, Grimmjow, right? Grimmjow's a Linkshore character. As even if they're bad to a certain extent, which Grimmjow isn't, by the way, people are probably going to vote for Grimmjow because he's the Linkshore character, so he's very likely to return in the post-election banner alongside better characters. So if you are someone that is potentially, again, this is like you're kind of risking it if you do skip the banner. You're kind of hoping they get put into the post-election banner, but in the off chance they do, you're going to be thankful you don't have the character, because then that means you're going to be pulling for some of the best characters in the game alongside characters that you might not own. And that's why I'm personally skipping it. I'll do, you know, the first 2 multis, and that's about it, because I don't really want to have these characters in the off chance they do appear in the post-election banner, because then when I'm trying to summon for Anniversary Ichigo dupes or Artwork Ichigo dupes, plus trying to get some other characters, I'm going to be grateful that I don't have some of these characters that are coming out in the next month or so, because if they're good enough, they're going to appear in the post-election banner. If they don't appear in the post-election banner, then they probably aren't worth summoning for, if that kind of makes sense, right? So that's the main reason why you should skip the banner, is because if they're good enough, they're probably going to appear in the post-election. Grimmjow, very likely to appear in the post-election banner. Gin, not so much. Shuhei, on the other hand, I'm not certain if he will appear in the post-election banner. If he had guard break, he'd definitely appear in there. Personally, I don't think Shuhei's a bad character, but I know a lot of people just see the fact that he doesn't have guard break, and they think the character's ruined. But yeah, that aside, let's talk about the banner, right? So luckily for us, the rates are actually pretty good on this banner if you do decide to summon on the main banner. The reason for that is because there is a 4.5% chance to get a featured character, meaning you have a 0.5% chance to get any character in this banner, which is, you know, the same old for every single banner, right? But because there's less featured characters, it means if you go to step 5, the guaranteed step, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a banner character. Compare that to, you know, the old rates where you had a 1 in 4 chance to get a banner character. So I definitely prefer these type of rates when it's a free character banner. It's definitely the best rates we had in a very long time. So let's just quickly do a couple multis, right? We got the unfeatured character right there, kind of unfortunate, and then we do Gin right there, okay, and then we do step 5, and we got Shuhei. Alright, so very easy. That's very likely to happen for a lot of people out there, because you have a better chance of pulling a featured character. Keep in mind, you can still get shafted. You know, nothing's ever guaranteed in this game for the most part, besides a guaranteed 5-star, right? But that's something you very well could do. Now, I will say, even though the filler characters aren't bad, like, it makes sense why it's these 6 characters, it's a bit meh for the most part. I don't think any of these characters are really much really worth using for the most part. These 3 characters are kind of trash. White Ichigo is a link in Arena. And sure, the Toshiro, Okiura, and also the Izuru are definitely usable. They're nothing outstanding for the most part. And I don't see myself ever using them. But going into the other characters though, let's talk about Gin. Gin had the chance to be very good. Like, he has a lot going for him. It's just unfortunate his strong attacks are just a bit meh. And if you can get over that, then that's perfectly fine. You're going to enjoy using this character, right? Because, like, he has very good skills. He has Sharpshooter. He's the first character outside of an Anniversary-esque character to have Sharpshooter, which is just crazy to think about. He has 40% Berserker with Paralysis on everything, and Revive on his Soul Bomb, and also 40% extra damage to paralyze enemies. 20% of that damage is being spread across your entire team. He's a very good character looking at the skills, looking at the kit. But then when you look at the attacks that he does have, it's a bit lackluster. His SA1 is a pushback attack, not the worst short attack in the game, don't get me wrong. His SA2 though is a vortex attack, and that's kind of just mediocre. It's not fast, you don't really like that. But I think the skills are definitely hardcore carrying him. It makes him usable in my opinion. It doesn't make him anything amazing, but I think his gameplay looks alright. I think he might be a fun character, and at the end of the day, he's going to clear content. Sure, there's going to be characters out there that are clearing faster than him, but it doesn't matter. If you're enjoying this character, then by all means use him. It doesn't make him terrible. He can clear content just fine, in my opinion, right? Moving on from that, we have Grimmjow. The main thing about this character is he is a link shot character, so in at the worst case you don't want to use him. Actually, let me quickly go back to Gin. Gin, I believe, does have read no affiliation dodges. Let me just check that out. He does, yeah. So even then, you can actually farm Hogakus with him. And you can also farm the point event with him, because that's like a new thing they're doing now for the point events. But going back to Grimmjow, similar thing with Gin. He has read no affiliation dodges, so you can farm Hogakus if you do lack them. You can also farm Linkshot Potions. He's the 3rd generation for the speed attribute, so that means if you have the past 2 Linkshot characters, that being Christmas Momo and also the Swimsuit Retsu, you now don't even have to play co-op. Sure, co-op still gives you better rates, but at least for single player co-op, you can now get guaranteed 15 potions every single run if you do have all 3 of these characters in your team. He's pretty good. Again, he holds his own right. His strong attacks are actually very good for the most part. SA1 lunge, 960 seconds, and a 1200 around him. It's pretty much like one of the best strong attacks you can ask for any type of character. So again, I think this character's good. He has a 14 recharge, he has a lot going for him, and he's also a Linkshot character. I know a lot of people are just skipping him because you don't really need him all too much. He's going to be farming Linkshot potions, and that's about it. A lot of people have, you know, a max transcendent Byakuya. They'd rather just carry Byakuya, they'd rather just use Retsu. But quite frankly, with Grimmjow, there's just nothing wrong with him. There's nothing I can like pinpoint that says he's bad. He's a very good character, and if you like his gameplay, then sure, you're going to be happy to pick him up, which again, he's very likely to return in the post-selection banner, so if you are simping for Grimmjow, maybe you're best off simping for him in a better banner like the post-selection. And then last card to talk about is the Shuhei. I think he's the best in the banner for me. Personally, for what I want to do with this character, I think he's actually very good. His soul bomb animation is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. I very much love the vibe he gives off. Very fluid, it's livid, there's a lot going on in the soul bomb animation, and I kind of like it. He is one of the few characters in the game to inflict slow, which is kind of cool. He also has in his innate skills dodge hollow damage, which means he has a 50% chance to dodge any hollow enemy that hits him. Kind of insane. He has freeze resistance, which is important because you do want to use him in Guild Quest because he is for the most part a Guild Quest character, and in that specific week of GQ where you want to use him, there are frozen pulls, so having that is actually very good. And then he does have Shackler, which I believe gives him a 12% chance to inflict slow on any enemy every 5 seconds. Pretty cool stuff, right? Now, this character, obviously, his big glaring issue is that he doesn't have guard break. That's something that a lot of people want to have on a NAD character. Don't get me wrong. If I see a NAD character and they don't have guard break, instant turn off. But when characters like this have a lot going for them outside of just being used for normal PvE play, he doesn't have guard break, and I don't think it really ruins his character. Of course, having it would have made him a lot better, but it's not that big of a deal personally because he has a lot going for him in a lot of other stuff. For example, Epic Raid, he's going to be obviously one of the better characters for that. He's going to be clearing very, very quickly. That's what you love to see. Guild Quest, he's the second best NAD support in Guild Quest alongside Spirits Alpha Yujushiro, who is boosting team. This Shuhei is going to be dishing out a lot of damage because he has basically like 100% no attack damage in Guild Quest because he has the 30% here, and then if he inflicts any enemy with slow, you're now doing 40% more damage to those enemies. It's kind of insane to think about. Yes, again, Flurry Poise, very good character in for GQ, right? And then in Arena. Now, I know not a lot of people do play Arena. Not everyone cares about Arena, but I still think it's worth talking about because he's definitely going to be shining in there. As you know, NAD characters in Arena are very tanky if you build them right, because they come with 10% inbuilt DR. You can give them like 80% no attack damage. He then gets 90 additional attack, and then he also has 11% evasion. So if you build this character correctly, you can give him a lot of attack, a lot of DR, and then he also has 11% chance to dodge. That would make him very annoying, right? Especially because in Arena, you don't have to care about guard break. And ranged NAD characters are very annoying. You know, you see Misaki, for example, they can be very annoying. But then it gets worse because he also has dodge holo damage, right? As I mentioned, 50% chance to dodge any holo that hits him. And I think this is very cool that he has it, because it's not broken in Arena for the most part, right? If you're using any other like non-holo character, you're probably going to clap through this character somewhat easy. He might be an annoyance because of the 11% chance to dodge, but this counters two specific characters, and we all know who we're talking about: 6th Anniversary Aizen and Artwork Ichigo. Those two characters are running rampant in Arena right now, and this skill alone allows him to be one of the worst characters to go against if you are using 6th Anniversary Aizen, if you are using Artwork Ichigo, which I think is kind of cool. So that's why I think him not having guard break is not a big deal, because he's one of the best damage dealers to use in the Holo Week of GQ, and he's also one of the best characters to use for Arena. So I think he's kind of a cool character. He's a lot going for him outside of just not having guard break. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I think Shuhei's pretty good. But again, it really depends on where you are at the game. If you don't care about Guild Quest, if you don't need him in Guild Quest, and you don't need him in Arena, then I can see why you might think this character is a bit disappointing. But I do like to point out where characters like the shining, even if it's for a game mode that not everyone does play. So yeah, overall, 3 pretty decent characters. Definitely worth selling for in their own right, but maybe in a future banner, or maybe in the individual banners, right? But again, seasonals, premiums, skip. I don't recommend anyone summoning on them. You're better off saving your orbs for the more limited banners, like Spirit Alpha with you, like Burn the Witch, for example, that are, I think the next big power creep is probably going to be Burn the Witch Part 2, because, you know, we saw in round 1 they were very good. We're probably going to get characters on the level of Anniversary Aizen and Artwork Ichigo. You're probably best saving your orbs for those banners if you are free to play, because that's going to give you the more fun to play characters and more of the broken characters in the game, right? These characters are going to return often, and again, they're going to potentially return at the end of the year for the post-selection banner. So, hope I was able to get my point across. Don't summon the banner. Again, even when I say I'm skipping, because I am skipping this banner, I'm going to do, again, the first 2 multis. Maybe go to step 5. Probably not. I'd rather just spend my obs in the point event and get, you know, Brazel tickets to then try and pull out like Ichigo, for example. But it's an okay banner, right? But it's still, just don't summon. Skip any premium or seasonal banner that comes out in the next 4 or so months. But that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. In the comments below, let me know if you are skipping this banner or if you are pulling. If you are, I wish you luck. Hopefully get what you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.